The Toronto Raptors had the worst defense in basketball over their last 9 games. How did this happen to a team with so much strong defensive personnel and a top 10 mark in the 9 games before that? I'll show you how right now. Hey, what's up? I'm Blake Murphy, and this is the Fast Breakdown. Entering the season, the Raptors' path to being an above 500 team went like this. Defend like crazy, get out and run in transition, and hope your half-court offense does just enough that your young players can develop into larger offensive roles by the end of the season. Over the first 9 games, the Raptors went 6-3, and they mostly checked these boxes. They ranked 6th in defensive efficiency, and at the heart of that was an aggressive scheme that you've probably come to be familiar with over the last couple of years. The idea is to force a lot of opponent turnovers, make them uncomfortable, and fuel the transition game. It worked well during that 6-3 start. The Raptors ranked 1st in live ball turnovers forced, which is an important stat because live ball turnovers, rather than out of bounds turnovers, allow you to attack a scrambled defense, often with an odd man rush. At that point of the season, all the risks the Raptors defense were taking were paying off. So what's happened since? Falling from 6th to 30th in defense. Heading into Wednesday's game with Memphis, the Raptors have gone 2-7 over their last 9, falling to dead last, 30th in the league in defensive rating since November 5th. So what's at the heart of that? In short, everything. During the 2-7 slide, the Raptors have remained one of the league's best team at forcing turnovers. However, fewer of those gambles have been successful. There's been an extra cost to this too, because the Raptors' transition offense has picked up in efficiency. So now a more efficient transition offense isn't getting the same caliber and volume of opportunities as it was before. This was never going to be a team that dominated on the defensive glass. They don't have a player over 6'9", and crashing the glass as a collective can only make up for so much. When you're switching, trapping, and helping all over the floor, that can leave the glass exposed even more. The November 5th game against Cleveland in a matchup with Jared Allen was endemic of this. Here, Allen's size advantage on its own is obvious. Precious Achiuwa has to help on the drive, and OG Anunoby slides over late to try to box out Jared Allen, but he's not there in time to body him out, and Allen just reaches over top of him for the second chance. Here, the Raptors more or less maul Jared Allen, and he still comes down with the offensive rebound. Precious Achiuwa recovers in time to contest the second shot, but it's a rare miscue from Fred VanVleet here, who lets Colin Sexton just walk in the baseline for a second chance opportunity. The Utah game on November 18th saw the Raptors barely grab half of the available defensive rebounds to them. It's a terrible number, and here's a play that highlights that. Here, Joe Ingles collapses the defense, and you can see at the time he passes the ball out, all 5 Raptors are looking at him. When the shot goes up, only Malachi Flynn and Pascal Siakam grab someone, allowing Trent Forrest to come in for a pretty easy offensive rebound. Again, on November 19th against Sacramento, here you see just poor awareness in a scramble situation where 3 Raptors try to pick up Rashawn Holmes on the glass, leaving Mitu open for a monstrous putback jam. You may have noticed that several of those offensive rebounding opportunities came off of an open 3-point shot or when a ball handler collapsed the defense into the paint, or both. Now, the Raptors employ this aggressive system, yes, in large part to force turnovers and get out and run in transition, but they also do it because they don't have a traditional rim protector. The Raptors are betting that by trapping, by doubling, by helping, by switching, they can do all of those things and then use their length and speed to still effectively close out on shooters. Their style of defense requires everyone to be on a string, and right now, the combination of inexperience, lineup juggling, and a lack of familiarity together don't have the defense on that string it needs to be to close out possessions. Steph Curry isn't often a fair example to evaluate a defense against, but look at this play where he collapses 4 defenders to the paint before kicking out for a Jordan Poole 3. Even a really good closeout from Scotty Barnes isn't quick or long enough to deter the shot. So if this defensive strategy requires that level of help in the paint on a drive, and it puts that much pressure on defenders to close out on corner threes, and you're sending the opponent to the free throw line at a very high rate, then it better be protecting the rim at a high rate. Otherwise, the costs probably aren't worth it. The Raptors have held opponents to a fairly average volume of attempts at the rim, which is great. Unfortunately, opponents are shooting almost 71% at the rim against the Raptors since November 5th. There's just not enough backline protection for dump-offs, lobs, and other plays involving a roll man or offensive rebounder when the Raptors send 2 to the ball. Just plain bad defense. There's of course also an element here of just general malaise or bad defensive plays. Not all of this is tactical. All told, the Raptors are contesting 8 fewer shots per game over their last 9. That's the difference between 6th and 30th in the league. They're also recovering fewer loose balls. Basically, the Raptors are taking the same risks to be aggressive, try to get the ball out of opponents' hands, but they're not finishing possessions nearly as well, whether that's with rebounding, closeouts, or coming up with the loose balls once they tip them. and they're especially not contesting shots well enough later in the shot clock. Right now, the payoff is coming up short of the risk. The Raptors are still forcing a lot of turnovers and getting out in transition, but they haven't done nearly as good a job taking care of the other elements of their defense. Whether it's closing out the corner three-point shooters, better protecting the rim, or cleaning up second chances, this is a team that just has too many good individual defenders to be the worst defense in basketball for too long. We hope. I'm Blake Murphy, and this has been the Fast Breakdown.